Hello, this is Jerry Mayberry with Sandhill Scientific. I would like to introduce you to a new, non-invasive, completely painless way to assess liver stiffness. This test will be done with a device that's called a FibroScan 502 Touch. And I would like to begin my explanation of this test by showing you the operating principle. The test is done with a handheld probe that you are seeing here, and it uses an operating principle that's called vibration-controlled transient elastography, or VCTE. That probably sounds a little complex, so let me explain the operating principle in simple, understandable terms. When I take a measurement with this probe, this dark tip that you see will make a very quick but small inward and outward motion. When this is held against the patient's right side, directly above the center of their liver, that quick motion will establish what's called a mechanical shear wave that will move between the ribs and through the liver tissue, traveling away from the tip of this probe. The second step of the test is the tip of this probe is also an ultrasound device, and it's going to use ultrasound to determine how rapidly that shear wave is moving away. It's a basic physiologic principle that a shear wave will move slowly in healthy tissue, but it will move rapidly in diseased tissue that is somewhat stiff, or think of development of fibrosis or cirrhosis would cause the organ to become more stiff, and therefore the shear wave would move rapidly. So essentially what we're doing then is establishing a shear wave and measuring its speed. Once we know the speed of that shear wave, the computer inside the FibroScan can do a basic physics calculation to determine the stiffness of the underlying tissue. I would like to first explain the FibroScan screen and how a test is conducted. Then we're actually going to perform a test on a volunteer. The FibroScan screen is now in a data acquisition mode. This is what a clinician would see when they're ready to start testing a patient. On the left-hand side of the screen, there's pre-measurement data that will tell the person doing the test that indeed they have the probe centered over the liver and that the signal quality is good, and if they take a measurement in this location, that it indeed will be accurate. On the right-hand side of the screen is post-measurement data that would tell the person doing the test that they indeed acquired a good measurement. The test is done by acquiring 10 valid measurements, and then the device provides summary information for interpretation by the physician. Now we're ready to move to our patient volunteer and see a test being done. I will now do a series of 10 measurements of the liver stiffness. You will notice that the left side of the screen remains active. This is my feedback telling me that the probe is in a good location and that I have a good quality signal. You will notice that these measurements are only about 5 seconds apart, and you will also notice that I'm keeping the probe very stationary. We do all of our measurements from the same location. I'm also watching the right-hand side of the screen, which refreshes after each respective measurement, telling me that the measurement was indeed of good quality. We have one more measurement to go, and then the test will be done. So what you can now see on the right-hand side of the screen is that we have conducted a total of 10 measurements, and all the data summarizing the test results is displayed on the screen. This is the data that the physician would review and interpret in the context of full patient information. Also check our other videos at www.fibroscan502touch.com. Thank you.